I hope you enjoyed my failed Zero Cycle run with Kafka in this video. I need to level up some more of Ruame's traces, just so she provides more damage bonus to the team, and that extra bit of break effect would help Kafka whenever she breaks the enemies a lot more that are weak to lightning. Yo, what up, Toshi here. Today we're going to talk about Kafka and the arrival of Black Swan and how much stronger Kafka is going to be with Black Swan. Now, Kafka is a very nice character already. I think she's really good in combination with Ruame, and even Ting Yun in the party. You can use her as a hyper carry and she still performs really well. Again, the added break effect Ruame provides on top of the break incentive she provides for the team is really all that Kafka needs against enemies that are weak to lightning, and then Ting Yun already doing Ting Yun things, giving energy and a damage bonus that has no name on it, is very good for a character like Kafka that wants to deal a lot more damage for dots. This is a very strong hyper carry team I've been using alongside Kafka. It's been so nice to the point where I don't even want to use Sampo anymore because it just doesn't feel as fun. Sampo does increase the dot damage of the team, and he allows Kafka to detonate a dot of his own, so therefore Kafka does even more damage in combination with Ruan Mei, but I just like the feel of hyper carry teams, so having a character like Sampo in the team doesn't really fit that. However, Black Swan will be a better version of Sampo for the team, and I think that's something to take into consideration that is going to make Kafka's team feel even more like a hyper carry team, even though she basically, Black Swan in this case, does everything Sampo already does, but better. Best way to describe Black Swan is a mix of Sampo and Pela. So basically, if Pela and Sampo had a baby, although I don't really want to actually picture that because that sounds really weird the more I think about it, Black Swan helps with the defense reduction of the enemy, and she helps with putting her own dots into the enemy, and she is a win character on top of that. So therefore, she's everything Kafka needs in a character alongside her for the dot team. With Black Swan, you don't need any other dot character in the team. However, you could benefit from having another dot character, even Gwen Ifen, or heck, even having Sampo in the party as well, which means your dots will deal even more damage, and you can use Ruan Mei in the team having 3 characters, because remember, Ruan Mei incentivizes you having as many damage deals as you want possible. If you have 3 characters in the team that deals damage alongside Ruan Mei, who's providing buffs to the whole team, and is skill point positive, giving skill points to the team, and is helping with the break incentives as well, and the added break effect too, is very nice for anyone in the dot team. Well, all of a sudden, your team is doing so much damage, and you never have to worry about having a character that heals or is a defensive option for the team, right? What I find very interesting about Green Eye Fen is that she'll be very nice in said team whenever the enemy is weak to fire. However, if you don't want to use Green Eye Fen, I think a nicer character to use in combination with Ruan Mei in the team of Kafka will present to be a very nice option. Whenever the enemies are weak to fire and you have Black Swan in the party, since Black Swan already gives defense reduction on the AoE, Himiko is going to benefit from that defense reduction, the enemies being weak to fire, and then Ruan Mei providing break effect, providing more damage bonus to the team, which again, you are incentivized for having as many damage dealers as possible in the team with Ruan Mei. Himiko is going to be a very nice character to use in the team. Now, I've already been using Himiko alongside Kafka. These two characters feel really nice together because you deal so much damage, AoE damage, you have so much break, and it's just constant back and forth between these two characters. And then Himiko also has the dots she can put into the enemy, which Kafka can then go and detonate. And if you have a character that is increasing your overall damage, those dots might deal a little bit more damage alongside Kafka, so it's something to take into consideration as well. Asta is still a very nice option to use with Kafka and other dot characters because again, this character boosts your attack and your speed. And if you put her on Dance Dance Dance, you're getting some action for it as well. I've used Dance 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 on Ting Yun in the showcase for the Kafka Zero Cycle. Tried to clear, but I failed, right? And it worked very well. And you can use those same options on Asta as well. You can use her in combination with Ruan Mei. You're going to give a lot of speed to the team, a lot of attack, a lot of damage bonus, and you're going to give a lot of break effect. And for a character like Asta, who wants to be on a break effect build anyways, you're going to take advantage of that break effect whenever the enemy is weak to fire. Now, I don't recommend this type of playstyle for everyone, and the Dance 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 double harmony setup isn't going to be fun for everyone, right? It, in fact, is a very risky playstyle because you have to take advantage of the action forward mechanic in the game, the break mechanic on top of that. You cannot play this team in auto, so it's not auto friendly. And you need to make sure that your characters have proper speed because, again, even though Asta provides speed to the team, the more speed you have, the better, in combination with Ruan Mei already giving speed to the team. And so when Black Swan does release, you can still use a team with a double harmony setup Instead of using Sampo, you would have Black Swan. And again, since these characters buff everything dot characters need, this team will be very nice for those of you that want to run as much damage as possible without having to worry about having a defensive option. And I think in the harder memory of chaos stages, at least for the one where Black Swan does come out, it actually should be viable because again, the memories of chaos will be tailor made for the character. But I think after that memories of chaos, subsequent memories of chaos are definitely going to be a lot harder to try to utilize a team like this. But with enough investment and enough, I should say, willpower, because you're going to have to restart a lot like I do, you should persevere and be able to clear it. A very interesting team you can use is a double Frost setup with Ruan Mei and Jeopard. I guess Ice, I don't know why I said Frost. A double Ice setup with Ruan Mei and Jeopard, and then Sampo being the other character used alongside Kafka. But again, you can use any other dot character. But let's talk about Black Swan, right? Because we've been talking about Black Swan for the whole video. So having Black Swan in place of Sampo, you have these two characters that is going to help whenever the enemy is weak to ice. Very important. Whenever the enemy is weak to ice, you can mess around with the break. And once you actually freeze the enemy, whether or not you break with ice or you actually freeze with Jeopard, your dot characters are going to have an extra dot tick whenever that enemy takes their turn. And then since you have everyone made a party, you're going to delay their action, they'll break, and then once they take their turn again, they'll either be unfrozen depending on which one goes first, and then they'll take the dot damage. So essentially, you have 2 to 3 dot procs on the enemy whenever they take their turns. It is insane how strong this combination can be alongside the ice element. It's very, very fun. Very fun. I've talked about this before, but with Ruan Mei in the party, you can take advantage of having S5 for Mata. It feels really good on the character. Ruan Mei already gives a lot of break effect to the team, and why not take advantage of that break effect she gives you with even more break effect from light cone options? And 32 break effect is nothing to scoff at. Now there is the 5-star light cone in the simulated universe that gives more break effect that will be more beneficial on a character that wants break effect anyways. And if you are detonating the AoE on enemies that are weak to lightning, you're going to deal a lot of damage when you break their toughness with Ruan Mei, and you're just going to deal a lot more damage with the dot proc that comes after breaking that enemy's toughness. It feels really nice in combination with this, and for a light cone that has a passive with 100% uptime with Black Swan in the party, you're going to find this very nice to use with Black Swan when she does arrive. But for those of you that do have the premium gacha options, because this does exist in the game, and it is best installed on the character whenever you do meet the criteria, you're going to find this very nice to use with Black Swan, because in combination having a character that gives her own debuff, Kafka giving her own debuff as well, and then furthermore, whether or not you break the enemy counts as another debuff, and Black Swan gives a defense down on top of that. So you're going to have the 3 debuff criteria you need in order to deal as much damage as you can with the light cone. And I think considering how much damage Sampo already does now, why not go ahead and put the light cone on both characters? But depending on how much effect hit rate Black Swan actually needs, because again, she is a character that is going to be applying the defense down on the AoE. So you probably want to have that character have more effect hit rate than a character like Kafka. Because it's not a matter whether or not you put the down enemy with Kafka, because you will eventually. It is the fact of the matter is, if you have a character that is applying a defense down with a single application on the skill, right? You probably want to land that as soon as possible. So you don't have to keep spamming it. And once you keep spamming it, you're wasting skill points. So Black Swan is probably going to need a lot more effect hit rate, but there is options in the game to help you meet that criteria. Before the tutorial mission starts, which is Silver Wolf's 5-star light code, not 5-star, well, best installed light code if you are using her as a supporter, this light cone is very good on Black Swan because it gives the effect hit ratio need, and then the energy against enemies that are defense reduced, which is pretty much what the character is known for, is going to allow her to get her ult faster. And I do understand not everyone's going to have this light cone on their account, so therefore there's other options in the game already that will also be really good on the character. Eyes of the Prey, which some of you may already have a refinement 1. The more refinements you have on this light cone, the better. Is going to allow Black Swan to have more effect hit rate easily, and then you'll have increased dot damage as well. So for Black Swan, this is going to be a very nice option to use on the character. But even if you don't have any of those options in your account, or maybe you're a brand new player and you're just now getting Kafka on her rerun banner, then I'll wait and see for what Hoyoverse has in store for us, because you never know, they may throw out a free-to-play alternative to some of those premium gacha options that will be best installed on Black Swan, or heck, maybe we'll get a brand new light cone in an event altogether for the character. You'll just have to wait and see. So the same relics you already use on your Kafka, you would just use on your Black Swan. So if you already have another set, you'll be good to go. All you need to know is that Black Swan is going to need a wind damage bonus. If you have that, then you met the criteria for having your Black Swan built. That's really all she needs. And if you have Austin in the party, you're going to meet that 160 well over it with the double harmony setup we talked about earlier in the video if you use that in the team of Black Swan and Kafka, which again, it could present to be a very nice option for those of you that like to play the game a lot more strategically than others. Well, that's one of the cool things about Kafka. There's many different ways of playing the characters, many different teams you can use. The different variations makes this character a lot more fun. I really like using her with Himiko, for example. That probably was my favorite team with Kafka until the end of Honkai Star Rail. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I can't wait for the arrival of Black Swan. She's going to be a very nice character to use in combination with Kafka. Obviously, all of you know that at that point. I probably said that a bazillion times in this video. The thing is about Black Swan, though, is that her kit compared to other characters in the game seems very straightforward and very basic. And I do understand that since she is a 5-star version of Sampo, and she literally took some things from Payla's kit and added it to her own, she gets as blanded as it can get, right? For a character that is a limited coming in literally 2.0. So for the start of 2.0, we have a very bland, basic character, but it's fine. This is pretty much all Kafka needed in her team anyways, so I don't see a problem with it. Thank you for watching and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.